Did AI just change Revit workflows forever? Because what you're about to see is not a plugin, it's not a script, and it's definitely not Dynamo. This is an AI agent that can open your model, understand it, modify it, fix errors, and even generate new elements on its own. No clicking, no manual workflows, just a goal, and the AI figures out the rest. And the crazy part? It doesn't stop when it fails. It reads the error, adapts, and tries again until the job is done. That's the real shift here. And this is all powered by something called MCP, the Model Context Protocol, which is quietly turning BIM into part of the AI ecosystem. But here's the problem. Most people still think this is just automation. It's not. This is something very different. This is Agentic AI. Agentic AI is a type of artificial intelligence that can act independently to achieve a goal. Instead of just answering questions like a chatbot, an AI agent can observe its environment, decide what to do, and take actions. To do this, an AI agent follows a loop: sense, decide, act. This loop repeats until the goal is achieved. The idea of AI agents is not new. It was developed in computer science during the 1980s and 1990s. What is new today is that these agents are now powered by large language models like ChatGPT, giving them much stronger reasoning and decision-making abilities. A bot, on the other hand, is usually much simpler. It follows fixed rules like a if-then system. For example, I could create a bot for my YouTube channel with a rule like this. If someone comments, "Pineapple pizza is awesome," automatically delete the comment. Please do not do it now. The bot does not reason or adapt. It simply follows the rule. So that's the key difference. Bots follow rules, but Agentic AI can think, plan, and act to achieve a goal. Think of it this way. A bot is like a microwave. You press a button, it does exactly one thing. Agentic AI, that's more like a chef. It figures out what ingredients to use, how to cook, and even fixes things if something goes wrong. And honestly, if your microwave suddenly starts planning dinner for you, you might want to unplug it. Now, let's see how Agentic AI applies to BIM and MCPs. Everyone is talking about MCP for BIM lately. But what exactly is MCP? MPC stands for Model Context Protocol. The Model Context Protocol was introduced by Anthropic in 2020, the company behind the Claude AI models. Their goal was to create a standard method for connecting AI systems to external tools and services. Since it is an open protocol, developers and companies can build their own MCP servers that connect AI agents to different platforms. This means the BIM world is also becoming part of the MCP ecosystem. MCP standardization is like the USB revolution, making it dramatically easier to connect tools and systems, just as USB simplified plugging in printers, cameras, and microphones compared to the fragmented and complex setups of the past. Developers are creating MCP servers that enable AI agents to interact with BIM software, model data, and project information. Let's explain MCP with a simple example. Imagine you have an AI agent. This AI agent can draw images, write music, and tell stories. But to do this task, you need different tools. A drawing tool for images, a microphone or audio tool for music, and documents for storytelling. Now here is the problem. The AI agent does not automatically know which tool to use, so developers usually create small connections like custom APIs. If the task is drawing, use the drawing tool. If the task is music, use the audio tool. If the task is storytelling, access the documents. This works well when there are only a few tools. But what happens to when the system grows? Maybe the drawing tool gets upgraded, maybe a new tool is added, maybe the AI agent now needs to connect to dozens of different systems. Suddenly, managing all these custom connections becomes complex. This is where MCP comes in. Think of MCP as a universal interface for AI agents. Instead of building a custom API for every tool or data source, MCP provides a standard way for AI models to access tools, services, and information. The agent can discover the available tools, understand how to use them, and retrieve the information it needs. If a tool changes or a new one is added, MCP helps keep everything connected in a consistent way. In simple terms, traditional APIs connect software to software. MCP connects AI agents to the tools and data they need. Now that we understand the idea, let us see how this applies to BIM. Let us assume you ask an AI agent to create a wall in Revit using an MCP. First, the agent explores the MCP and understands what tools are available. It identifies the right one. In this case, something like create element. Now, here's a key point. The tool defines what inputs are required. but it does not provide the values. So next, the agent prepares the input. Based on the requirements of the create element tool, it figures out what Revit needs, such as wall type, level, height, and start and end points. It may get this from context or by asking the user. Then it sends the request through the MCP to Revit. If everything works, Revit creates the wall and sends back a confirmation. The agent checks the result to make sure the wall was created correctly. If the first attempt fails, the agent reads the error, understands the problem, and adapts. Maybe the wall type doesn't exist, it finds a valid one. Maybe a parameter is missing, it fills it in. Maybe Revit rejects the input, it adjusts, and tries again. So this is not a one-shot command, it's a loop. Understand the tools, prepare the inputs, send the request, check the result, fix errors, repeat, and that's what makes an AI agent powerful. It keeps going until the wall is successfully created in Revit. And if you're a true nerd, adrenaline and excitement will hit harder than a GPU during a benchmark test. If you're enjoying this video, please support the channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing. It really helps us create more free content for you. Now, let's get back to the geeky stuff. When it comes to using MCP with Revit, I've been testing two main options for the last few weeks: the open source Revit-MCP project and the AI Connector for Revit, which is part of Nonica tab. So here are my practical tips. First, let's talk about installation. If you want the easiest path, Nonica is clearly simpler to install. You just download the plugin from the Autodesk App Store, follow the setup instructions, and you're basically ready to go. You can start with the free version, and there is also a pro version, which I also tested just for transparency. The pro version was provided to me for free to sponsor this video. Now, Revit to the MCP is a different story. It is powerful, but the setup can be a bit challenging if you are not comfortable with programming. In my case, I actually used an AI agent to help me install it through VS Code with GitHub Copilot. Another very useful trick is to ask ChatGPT to guide you step by step. That can make the setup much less painful. So the big question is, what is the difference in tools? With Revit MCP, the big advantage is that it feels more open and developer-oriented. It can let an AI read data from the model, create elements, modify them, delete them, tag walls and rooms, export room data, analyze model statistics, query selected elements, check the current view, and even run AI-generated code in Revit in some cases. So if you like flexibility and you want to experiment, this is very interesting. But it is also a bit more technical and less beginner-friendly. With Nonica's MCP, the focus is more on giving AI a set of pre-built and tested tools. According to the documentation, the free version gives access to 37 read and analyze tools, while the pro version gives 50 plus tools for reading, analyzing, editing existing elements and parameters, and creating documentation. It also includes workflows like analyzing warnings, generating reports, checking accessibility, extracting scheduled data, editing parameters, and even creating room elevations, views, sheets, and placing viewports. It is clearly more packaged and easier to use out of the box. So my honest take is this: if you're a regular Revit user and you want something you can install quickly and start testing fast, Nonica is probably the easier choice. If you are more technical or you like open source workflows and want more freedom to tinker, then Revit MCP is very exciting, but expect a steeper setup process. And honestly, after testing both for weeks, I think it is great that Revit users now have both options. It is not a matter of which one is best, but which one will be the best for your use. So let's start and see the feature on Nonica MCP. I'm gonna start opening a standard project in Revit. This is one of the tower projects that you will find in the latest version of Revit. I'm gonna go just in the 3D visualization so we can see how the action take place. So the first step will be then to go to the Nonica tab and press connector, and you will see the activation will be happening. And the second step, we need to go to Claude and make sure that in the connection section, Revit is on so we can start and working with it. So here you can see the first prompt that I'm using. It's intended to visualize only the door in this Revit project. So you will see that within a few seconds, the MCP connection is going to be capable to visualize only the door within this space. So the next step that I'm going to use in This example is to color this door using a different color setting depending on the level on which this door are located. In this case, I'm gonna speed up a bit the process to make sure that we don't waste too much time just waiting for the AI to do the job. You can see that the AI is start coloring doors level by level. You can see that already part of it has been already done, and as we wait, the application of this change has been done to the next floor and the next floor. You can appreciate in real time the change of action in the Revit scene. And eventually Claude give us also a report about the coloring scheme that has been applied, so we can understand what the color means into the 3D visualization. So the next step that I did is to ask the MCC to color the door, this time using the fire rating of those doors. So this is going to be a bit more complicated. It needs to go into the property of those doors, figure it out which fire rating is there, and try to figure it out a way to color those doors depending on their rating scheme. So you can see here that I've accelerated a bit the process because it was taking a bit too long to show it live, and see that within a few seconds we are going to have the new coloring scheme into the 3D visualization, as well as Claude is going to show us the palette that has been used for coloring this door, so we can have a good understanding of what's the meaning of each single color. So the next step for us is to test if we are capable to export data of this door in an Excel file. I'm assuming that I'm going to use this information to do some quantity takeoff. So let's see if Claude is capable to, first of all, extract this data and generate an Excel file that will be useful for our costing project. So you can see that also in this case I speed up. You can see that the Excel file has been generated. All the lines here represent something that is going to be in our Excel document. So let's wait a bit. You can see that eventually the Excel file has been generated. So let's open and see what is in it. I must confess that I'm pretty surprised by the details of information put in this Excel file. And you can see that it's not just generating a single sheet. There are multiple sheets where I can go and see different summary of the data that have been extracted from the Revit file. It's pretty impressive to see that an AI agent is already capable to do something so advanced. So I'm really pleased with the outcome of this task. One important limitation to understand with Nonica's MCP for Revit is this: it does not create a project from scratch. The tools are mainly designed to analyze, edit, and document existing models rather than build new geometry from zero. So yes, it can generate things like room elevations, views, and sheets, which is great for documentation workflows. But when it comes to core modeling tasks like creating a wall, a room, or building a model from nothing, those tools are simply not there. The good news is that Revit MCP does have these tools, so we can experience AI capabilities and limits to the next level. Let us close the Nonica MCP and start testing the capability of Revit MCP instead. So you can see that the empty project is there ready for us. And the next step for me will be to make sure that I go to adds in and make sure that the MPC is working. And then I need to go in Claude and make sure that the connection with the Revit MCP is on, so the two software can communicate with each other with the MCC protocol. And the first task I'm going to give to the Revit MCP is to create a simple room 10 meters by 7 and establish also the type of walls that I want in this project. So let's see if the MCC is capable to do it. So I'm going to go now to the tree visualization, and you will see that within a few seconds we are going to have, of course I need to allow to use the MCC. You can see that the room is already there, created from zero by our AI agent. And this is pretty awesome. It's unthinkable that now AI are capable to draw and use parametric models in Revit. So I've been adding the floor as well, and something that is a bit puzzling, you can see that the brick side is within the inside of the room. So I need to report these issues with the AI agents. So the wall is okay, it needs just to be flipped. So let's see if the AI is capable to fix this small bug. So of course I'm gonna report that the bricks needs to be in the outside part of the room, not in the inside, with a simple prompt, and see what happens. You can see that within a few seconds, yes, the AI is capable to fix this small bug. So the next step for me will be to ask the AI agents to insert a door in one of the longest wall here in the project. And let's see if it's gonna be capable to do it. And yes, also in this case, after struggling with a bit of understanding each other, also in this case, I managed to successfully locate an exit or entrance wherever I really wanted to be. And the next step for me will be to start asking the AI to create a floor plan for this specific project. I'm going to ask the AI agents to consider the assumption that this is an office space. So I would like to have these desks, but also I'm going to ask to create a toilet area within the building. So let's see if the agent will be capable to have a good understanding of the space and have a good layout for this indoor space. You can see that within a few seconds, he has been capable to generate a different option for me. And it's asking me to confirm that I want one of the options proposed. And you'll see that within a few seconds, we can see that a new room has been created inside. In this case, it's a bit odd because it's still using exterior wall. So I'm gonna ask to fix this bug later. And you can see also that he has located some desks and is giving me a bit of a schematic overview of the space is gonna look like. The main issues that I found in this case is that the AI struggled to understand what it has done in Revit. Differently from Blender MCP, and I have a really extended video on this MCP tool for Blender. In this case, the AI agent is not capable to take a screenshot of the environment and try to figure it out how the layout looks like. So in this case, I've been trying to provide some feedback saying, look, there are some issues here that we need to fix. First of all, the interior walls needs to be an interior wall, not an exterior wall. Try to redraw the location of desks. But in this case, I started having a bit of issues because it was difficult for the AI agents to actually have an understanding of the location of those desks. So this is a good news if you're interior design. So AI is still away from taking your job. But I guess that with future evolution of this MCP tool, there will be much better way to sense what has been done in a 3D space and be capable to self-adjust with the mistakes that get created in the first iteration. So I believe that this is more than enough to get a sense about what MCP can achieve today in Revit, and I'm pretty sure there will be much more exciting stuff coming out in the coming months because this space is booming. So if you want to be notified about the new features and new tutorials on these AI tools for building information modeling and other engineering application, please stay in touch with us, like the video, subscribe, and press the bell so you will be notified when there will be a new video on this topic.